This time we're going to create a 3D model of this component. So the first thing that we're going to do is to create the lower part of the component. So I'm going to use the pline command. So pline, for the starting point would be 0, 0. So the length would be 3.5, and then the height would be 2.5 units. Again, 3.5. Then we're going to close the pline or the polyline that we have. Just type C to close it. I'm going to rotate our view. Use the extrude command to extrude the 2D object. And then the extrusion height would be 0.5. And then the next thing that we're going to do is to create the hole of the the hole that we have here in the bottom part of the component. So I'm going to change the coordinate with the face, face. So this top face of our 3D object. So accept that. Then I'm going to use the X-line command for the outline. So here in this endpoint, vertical and a horizontal X-line. Then I'm going to offset those X-line that we have with a distance of 0.5 units. So there, and this one. So this intersection would be the center of our circle. So create a circle, and then this intersection would be the center point of the circle. So we have a diameter which is 0.375. So type D for diameter, then enter the diameter, which is 0.375. Now we have that. And then I'm going to delete this X-line that we have here. So, so I'm going to use mirror. Yeah, let's use the mirror. So I wanted to mirror this circle here in the lower part of this object. So I'm going to use this midpoint. So there I'm going to mirror that. I'm not going to erase the object or the source object. Hit no, and then again mirror this to circle and this midpoint of the object. So there you go. No. So there. So next thing that we're going to do is to extrude this circle. So using the extrude command. So select this circle that we have and then extrude. So next thing that we're going to do is to subtract this cylinder to our object or the main object that we want. So use the subtract command and then select the object or the main object that we have, and then the cylinder that we wanted to cut that out to our main object. So there we have a hole. So I'm going to change this in this window. I'm going to change the visual style to shades of gray there. So next thing that we're going to do is I think I'm going to create the the upper part of the component. So yeah, so let's do that first. So I'm going to highlight the object and click the top face. So there. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to use the X-line again. So X-line in this midpoint, also here. So there. So we have the length of 3 and the width or height would be 2. So I'm going to use offset. So 1.5, which is this one. We're going to create this. 3, and then this is 0.5. So this thing, dim linear. Do dim linear. So this thing is 3, the length. So again, I'm going to offset 1 with a distance of 1 here and here. So dim linear. So I'm going to measure this out. So we have 2. So use the trim command. So we're going to trim this out. this part and this part. So we will have a rectangular shape. So I'm going to delete this. Now I'm going to rotate the view that we have. So I'm going to use the join command to join out this 2D object that we have. Now we already joined that, and then I'm going to convert our 2D to poly, to light. This, click that, and then we convert this already. So I wanted to use the extrude command because we wanted to extrude this 2D. So extrude that. So for the thickness or the extrusion height would be 0.31. So there. So the next thing I think we will going to hide the lower part of the component. So I'm going to hide that, and then we will going to create a hole again. So I'm going to change the coordinate to this face of the object now, and then I'm going to have an X line in this endpoint, this horizontal and vertical X line, and I'm going to offset again with a distance of 0.5. There, this one and this here. So the circle will have a diameter of 0.313. So this intersection would be the center of our circle. So we will have a circle in this intersection would be this center point of our circle, and then the diameter is 0.313. So D for diameter, and diameter is 0.313. There, delete the X line that we have, delete that. So I'm going to use again the mirror. So I'm going to mirror that in this midpoint of the object. Now, then mirror again in this midpoint. There. So now that we have our circles, we're going to use the extrude command. So we're going to extrude our circles. So for the extrusion height, we can have 1 unit. Then use the subtract command to create a hole to our main object. So select the main object, then confirm that with the spacebar, then select the cylinders. So confirm the command. Now we already have our hole. So I'm going to unhide the object that we isolate. Now this is the lower part of the component, and this one is the upper part of the component. So I'm going to change the coordinate to world, and then I'm going to change again the coordinate to this face of the component, which is the lower part of the component. And then I'm going to use the move command. So I wanted to move the upper part, or this part, which is the upper portion of the component. So use the move command. So this upper part of the component, and then for the base point would be this end point of the object. So for the height or the distance of the would be 2 units from this base. From this base. So what else that we're going to do? I think we're going to change a coordinate. I think we're going to I'm going to change the coordinate to this side of the component. Accept that. So now I'm going to use the X line for the outline. For this object, there would be the midpoint, and then another X line in this midpoint. So I'm going to do is I'm going to use a rotate command. So I'm going to rotate this object. So the base point would be this this intersection there. So I wanted I think I wanted to, yeah, great. I'm going to choose the reference. So because we're going to yeah, well, I think we're not going to need a reference because we have a we call this angle. So the angle that need to be rotated is 30, or the position of this part is 30 degrees. 30 degrees. So from this x-axis, so cal cal or calculator, so 180 degrees minus 30 degrees would be 150 degrees. So yeah, we're going to rotate command, or we're going to use the rotate command, then click the, or select the object that we wanted to rotate, and then select the intersection as our we'll call this base point of our rotation there. So for the rotation angle would be 150 degrees. So there. So yeah, that is 100. If we're going to like line, yeah, line, and then do that, then dim angle, not dim align, dim angle, angular there, that one, this one, and this one. Yeah, we're going to align this one to this. Delete the x line. So dim linear, linear, dim angular, dim angular. So like that. So it's 30 degrees. So we're going to delete that. This line, this excess line, we're going to delete those, and then change the coordinate to world. So there, we already have that. So what we're going to do next is to create the what do you call this, the middle part, or the middle part of the component. So I'm going to hide this upper portion, or the upper part of the object, component that we have here. I'm going to hide that. So I'm going to create this section of the component. So I'm going to change the coordinate to this top face of the object. So accept that. So I'm going to do is select the object and click the top face or view there. So so I'm going to use the X line for the outline. So here in the middle point of the object, as well here in this middle point. So I'm going to use offset command. So here we have 2.25 and 1.25. So I think I'm going to use the 1.25. So use cal for calculator. So here you have 2.25 divided by 2. That would be 1.125. So offset. The distance of offset is 1.125 units. This here and this here. And then for the thickness would be 0.25. So if we're going to divide by 2, that would be 1.125. So offset. And then the offset distance would be 0.125. So there, this side as well. So I'm going to use the trim command. So I'm going to trim this, this, and this one. So we're going to trim those excess line here. So again, we're going to divide the 1.25 yeah, 1.25 by 2. So cal, and then 1.25 divided by 2, that would be 0.625. So offset command, and then for the offset distance, so it would be 0.625 units. So yeah, so here this we're going to offset this vertical x line, that. So for the thickness would be yeah, 0.25. So divide to 0.125 offset. Then the offset distance is 0.125. So offset this one and this one. So use the trim tool or the trim command to trim out the excess line. Trim. So trim that. This also. So there. So I'm going to delete this X line and use again the trim tool or the trim command. So we're going to trim that. So this is just an individual object. So I'm going to join them. Use the join command. So I'm going to join this object or these two objects that we have. So now that they are connected to each other or they are joined, I'm going to what we're going to do here is convert this object to poly. So we're going to convert the 2D object that we have here to polyline. So there, we already have that. So I wanted to unhide the object that we isolate there. And then I'm going to use the extrude command to extrude the 2D object that we have. So extrude, there you go. So there, let's say that way. Yeah, it's supposed to be that way, like that. Let's say 3 units. So here we're going to adjust our view in this window. Going to zoom a little bit. So there. So that's good. So what else that we can do? So we're going to cut off this upper portion of the this object. So what we can do is I think we're going to change the face or the coordinate to this face of the object, this object there. So we're going to use if we can, I think let's use the cut. If there is a cut command, yeah, not cut, I think slice, yeah, slice. There is a slice command. So I'm going to click this part of the object that we have. So I'm going to rotate a little bit. So there, I'm going to select this part or this object of the component. Then confirm that. Then we're going to choose this endpoint and this endpoint of the object. Then and then confirm the command. So now that we successfully cut off this part of the object that we have. So if we're going to delete that, now we already have that. So I think we can actually cut this as well, this part, but that's good enough. So let's try to combine them. Use the union command, say union, and then highlight these objects. Then we confirm the command. So we're going to change the coordinate to world. So we're almost done. So this is our component now. So the last thing that we're going to do is the edge of our or the corner of our component. We're going to use a fillet edge to round this corner. So here I'm going to use the fillet edge. So for the radius, for the radius of the fillet would be 0.6. Let's fillet that, select the edge of the corner, and then confirm our command there. So here, as you can see, we already fillet our edge of the lower part of the component, and then so fillet edge, and then R is 0.4, and then this corner, that, this, and this. There you go. So I think we're done with, yeah, we can actually have fillet this also with this edge of the, the middle part of our component. We can actually have a fillet edge. So let's try to put that. So fillet edge, and then for the radius is 0. No, fillet edge, and the radius is 0.06. So I'm going to zoom a little bit. So this side is, yeah, that one, this one, and then, yeah, and then this side. So confirm the command, yeah, I'm going to confirm the command, and there you go. So I think we're finished for this this component. So let's try to change our visual style to shades of grays. So there, that is our component. So